assured, like very confident running the bed because just like when I was out in Texas, these guys had no communication.
Luna.
And the way they communicated was amazing.
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SE Project branding logo that's on here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool. And we're also gonna change the kickstand now, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at the
Hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el putín entero. Funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SE Project branding logo that's on here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool. And we're also gonna change the kickstand now, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at the
Hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el putín entero. Funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SE Project branding logo that's on here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool. And we're also gonna change the kickstand now, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at the
Hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el putín entero. Funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo
What?
Lunes.
It is. I have the blue light on.
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SE Project branding logo that's on here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool. And we're also gonna change the kickstand now, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at the
Hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el putín entero. Funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes. Money work.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SE Project branding logo that's on here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool. And we're also gonna change the kickstand now, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at the
Hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el putín entero. Funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
What's good? What's good? Mike's in the building. Welcome to another Freestyle Sunday night. Guys, very excited to be on tonight. And it took a whole lot just to be on today. I got to tell you guys, it's been a wild week. We're talking about me doing motivation stuff, me working on my own channel stuff, me enjoying a new bike that I bought, it's just so much that's on the plate. And yesterday I was at New Jersey Motor Park, I think, Motor State Park. It's basically a racetrack out there in Jersey, about like 4 to 5 hours away out of New York. I went to Clutch Control 2022 with Black Moses. Lots of people showed up. Really, really dope event overall. Very excited to kind of share that experience and kind of tell you what it was all about. But for tonight, we're supposed to have Boosted Catfish on. I did a documentary with him. I can't say he's not going to be here yet or he's going to be here. He does have some family issues going on. So there's a possibility that he might or might not be on. But that's fine. But I do have a backup plan. I found out not that far ago, and I started preemptively prepping what we wanted to do tonight, what we wanted to cover and talk about. So we still got a very exciting show. Lots to talk about, lots to cover. And either way, man, we're going to make the best of the night and have a good time and talk overall what's new, what's been going on. That Clutch Control event that Black Moses hosted, guys, absolutely. Oh, my wife mentioned it is New Jersey Motorsports Park in South Jersey. Yeah, that was a drive, by the way. Originally, I wanted to ride there. There was tons of motorcycles, which I'll pull up a lot. I mean, there's so much to kind of pull up and highlight. I have a ton of clips. Don't judge, because some of the clips here that I'm going to be rolling tonight, they're unedited. It's raw footage, not color-coded, nothing like that. We're talking about just straight up files that you're looking at as raw as it can be. So excited to kind of highlight that stuff. Oh, some of the people we bumped into. We bumped into Jason Britton. Got an intro to him from Black Moses. The Combo Kids out of New Jersey, super cool stunt guys. The Killer Cam showed up. He's out of PA. We ended up chopping it up for about an hour, talking about motorcycles, bikes, camera equipment, and quality of videos. Very interesting guy. Very, very, very cool. Hopefully we can kind of either get him on the show, or I'll be either one or the other. We end up meeting from PA to New York, or I'll head out there, whatever, so we can produce some work together, whatever it may be. But that looked really good. We had some Icon representative over there. We had basically a lot of brands. So overall, Clutch Control is basically just a motorcycle passion related event. So if you ride, you come through. If you're looking to get gear, you want to network with people. Ideally, what I use Clutch Control for mainly, I can't say use, I got to be careful about my wording here. The point of me being there was really just to immerse myself a little bit more into motorcycle culture and also network with a lot of people. And it ended up working out really well because I got, you guys know that I'm learning how to wheelie and practicing being very proficient in it. And I got to talk to a lot of professionals that are really, really good at doing wheelies. So it's kind of cool to see, to talk to people, ask for best practices. What do they recommend that I do in a safety manner? So I got a ton of feedback, and I've been composing a lot of videos. I'm talking about some of the new stuff that I've gotten in conjunction to the bike that I chose to practice with, safety equipment, and the experience overall has been crazy. So so much to kind of talk about. And, you know, if we do not have a guest, don't bail. So it's still going to be a great show. So lots to cover. So here we go. Let's do what we usually do on the regular, guys. Before going any further, let's see here. I'm just gonna pull this up. Oh man, I'm so glad you guys are tuned in. By the way, I always say this all the time. Putting one of these shows on takes so much, and so often I get to the point where I'm like, oh man, maybe I might call it a night, or maybe I'll just do it next week, and I don't end up doing that. I am so glad that I do not do that. I don't fall into that trap, and it's always worth it every single time that I get past over the hump of coming on, launching the show. Let's see here. Launching the show, talking with you, seeing people logging in very early, saying what's up. That stuff really helps. It really keeps things going. And thank you to all of you guys that are tuned in, by the way. If you are here early, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, I'd appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up, help with the algorithm. It's a big, big deal. First off, guys, we're going to say a big shout out to Motivation USA. They are a proud sponsor of the channel. Again, these guys have been instrumental in the channel, what I do, the way I style my bike, and all the effort that I actually put in to make my bike what they are, what people see and say, oh man, I like your exhaust, I like what you did there. So if you guys want to support what I'm doing here, I don't sell anything to you guys, always say this, but it's instrumental that you do hit up the link in the description by Motivation USA and, you know, grab the parts you're looking for. And don't think it's only a Ducati thing, guys. Let's be clear, it's not just a Ducati thing. We're talking about pretty much any motorcycle that you ride, any brand, any make and model, you can actually click there and shop. And that's one way you give back to me. You give back to Motivation USA, and that helps us continue bring up the quality, getting better camera, lighting, better mics, or whatever it may be. And you can shop there. All right, it's definitely something that's worthwhile, and I appreciate it when you guys do shop there and click those links, because it makes a big enough effort for me to continue doing this. And to be clear, guys, it's not just a favor you're doing me. Yes, you do. When you shop, I do get something out of it. I do get a financial gain. So you guys know I love being transparent with you guys. There's no real big secret here. I love what I'm doing. And of course, there's small little bonuses out of it. So I'll take that as well. But yeah, definitely you want to go and give them some love and support. And always appreciate it. Some V2 parts here, guys. Keeping it moving. Man, I'm so glad everybody's here, man. I just scrambled everything, really. I thought to myself, what if Boosted Catfish does not come through tonight? What is the next best step? The next best step. Yesterday, I spent the entire day in the clutch control event. I'm like, let me gather all the clips, raw files. You guys could see it, even Killer Cam's bike. And I'll start rolling those things and kind of show that to you guys. So, by the way, open platform. If you have Q&A, if you have any questions regarding any other people I'm talking about, my experience with them, that's the perfect time. If you want to ask, I can kind of elaborate a little bit. So that's going to be that opportunity. All right, cool. The other thing we want to do, guys, I'm going to show a little bit of love and support to Hard Knocks Coffee. Again, the owner of Hard Knocks Coffee was also at Clutch Control. Again, it's a small place, guys. You want to show love and support, candles, coffee, whatever it may be you might be interested in. You want to show love? Hit the link in the description. That's where you want to shop for any of these components and stuff, and that helps the channel greatly. Always appreciate that. But I guess we might as well do what we do best, right? Which is show love and support to anybody who come through early on in the stream. I'm going to highlight that super quick. Give me a sec. I'm going to pull up your chat here. So if anybody has any, how do you call it, questions, saying what's up, this is going to be your opportunity. Your name will appear on the screen. And the reason why I do this, guys, not just to have the stream be interactive. Yes, that's one of the reasons. The other is a lot of us that comes through and watch the stream, you're either a content creator or a potential content creator, or you just want to hear a good story or whatever, which is great also. So this gives you an opportunity to actually get your name highlighted so people can hit you up as well if they're interested. We have David Pisioni in the building. Pumped to watch this. Adam is a solid guy. Lots of fun to hang out with. And close bar down with. Okay, there you go. I read that a little bit wrong. Yeah, man. Adam is a very chill guy, man. I shot this really dope interview with him where we talk about road racing and the love of motorsport and stuff like that. I did it about 2 months ago. I've done the main timeline edit. My wife did the second run through, and then it's really adding the B-rolls, people's titles and stuff like that, and just really kind of finalizing it. But there's been so much going on, so much to keep up with, and I just haven't got a chance to finish it and upload it. And I think it's going to be a good time for me to pull out a piece of content like this. It's going to be fairly long, maybe like half an hour. It's a small documentary. And just gives people a general understanding what's the passion, the overall idea why people roll race and be part of that community. So that's very exciting. We have Randy's Reality in the building. What's up, everyone? He also has a channel. Here we go here. Wifey's always in the building saying what's up. We have Governor D. Nice. What's good, bike family? Chilling, sir. Appreciate you coming through. Solo Riders in the building. What's good, man? Let's see what else we got, man. And more people tend to tune in as we're going through the night. Let's see here. There's quite a few more. Mr. 20 West is in the building. Jock in the box. Let's see here. Any hope of having Jason on the stream after meeting him? So that's Solo Rider 82. Yeah, so I spoke with Jason Britton for a bit while we were there. Actually, you know what? While we do this, let's kind of do that, guys. You know what? At least we're going to keep the stream interesting through the night. So it's not completely dead. Let's see here. There you go. So the question we're going to be tackling here is by Solo Rider 82. Any hope of having Jason Britton on the stream after meeting him? So he is an extremely, I've talked to him before. He plugged us. Black Moses plugged us. And he's somebody that's instrumental in the motorcycling community and what he does. Really, let me see here. Give me a second here. Yeah, there we go. Very, very interesting guy. He's instrumental in this community and what he brings to the table. For example, he drove 50 hours. 50 hours. I remember me saying, oh man, it's about 4 to 5 hours coming and going each to actually get to the event. And I was kind of dreading it a little bit because I'm like, should I ride my bike? And I'm like, no, I'm going to drive. I want to kind of chill and lay back, listen to podcasts and stuff like that on my drive. And I thought to myself, oh my God, it's such a far drive. And when I spoke to him, we chopped it up in between him bleeding his brakes for the next stunt show. So it's just like boom, boom, boom. It's just so much is happening. You know, it's 50 hours for him to go from California, load the bikes, any technical difficulties, he's fixing that as well. It's just a lot to kind of put together when we're talking about him coming on and him being on the stream. But it's definitely in the air to do. So let's take a quick look here. Yeah, it's definitely a thing. So you're gonna see a lot of shaky camera footage, or because usually I'm adjusting frame rate, I'm adjusting my ND filter, making sure everything is sharp. So you can see it's not very clean, but once everything is cut down, it's gonna be a wild video. But really, really dope. They were playing music, so that's why I'm not playing the actual music behind here because it's probably gonna get it demonetized. But this is Rietta. She was a really dope stunt rider, guys. She is ridiculous, by the way. And super, super talented all around. And both of them were in a small space just dominating and doing all types of combination in terms of wheelies to rolling burnouts and, you know, just overall tons of stunt and never really bumping into one another. So completely crazy. And they've done multiple shows throughout that entire night. But again, so you could see here, I'm bouncing between Henrietta and Jason, between focus and rack focusing back to one or the other. Overall, I had an idea of how I want to shoot it. So when I cut it down later, it's going to look seamless, even though you do have stuff like this that you're seeing here. But here's the cool thing. You guys actually get to see what it really looked like, the raw footage. And then when you see something like, I don't know if you guys seen any of the videos where I did Teach McNeil. It looks very clean, you know, very on point, very cute. And this is what it really looks like before you see that final clean footage that looks really good or whatever it may be. This is what we're getting. Yeah. So take a look, guys. Let me know what you think of some of this clip. And let me know if you're excited to see what it looks like by the time we are done editing this. Yeah, so he's definitely. Also, I think I'm gonna get Rietta on the show, guys. That's the young lady here that's stunning. Just keep in mind, in this video you're looking at here, she does not have an ACL. I think she crashed or she had an accident where, so she's actually riding while she's in extreme discomfort, which is crazy. You know, I don't know if I'd be doing that. You know, in some cases that could be causing more damage than actually resting it. But I think, you know, the show must go on, so it's a whole team thing. So really, really cool. But I'm gonna say now, guys, it was really, really a pleasure. Take a quick look at their bikes. These are both bikes by Rietta and Jason. These are some like B-rolls that I shot of them, just to kind of help tell the clutch control story. Just kind of talk about, you know, the bikes. It's a process when you go to these events and you're actually going to make content out of it. You have to have some kind of structure of what you're going to do and how you want to tell the story. So you're kind of seeing some of that stuff here. This is me getting like a little bit close up of the exhaust, any damage, and look at those brake calipers. 3 of them, guys. So there's basically 3 means, actually 3 or 4 means, I'd say. You have your standard brake, right? You have all the other 3. So I think that you could actuate their rear brake from either your left hand or your right hand, and also in some other specific manner, because there's a lot of means of you controlling that rear brake, and that's essential. Yeah, those bikes are really dope. You know what's the other thing too, guys, that I think is crazy? As you guys could see on the tank of each one of those cowies, that the seating area of the top of the gas tank, they're actually designed and cut and fabricated just for stunting. I know in most cases when you see people that do stunts, they basically use a hammer or rubber mallet to kind of mash it down and then put tank grip tape on it. But these cowies are specifically done that way, where they cut the top of the gas tank and reshape it and then weld it back on. And those bikes are extremely light. Look, and also take a quick look here. Take a look. If you see, let me just run back real quick. And he's definitely gonna be back on, guys. Let me just kind of go back real quick here. Can you see that frame right there? Let's see if you can see that. You see my mouse? Let me see. It's gonna get bigger right there. You see that? Their subframe is reinforced tremendously to withstand that much of a beating. Even the rear pegs back here. Let's take a look. You'll see my mouse pretty big here. That little area here, reinforced as well. That way their motorcycle can withstand a huge amount of pressure at all times. Let me see if I could kind of get a little bit closer here of Rietta's bike. There you go. This is Rietta's bike. You see the reinforcement pieces back here. So much of this was instrumental and educational and fun to kind of see professionals do it and see what it takes. And their bikes, I know there's a connotation to stunt bikes being junk bikes almost. Their bikes is OEM-like stunt bikes that are designed specifically, and you can see machine billet aluminum pieces on there to reinforce, and on Rietta's bike right here. And if you look at the, let's see here, let's kind of scroll back here real quick and see the caliper. See that rear caliper? Sorry, I mean the rear wheel, and then the brake disc. One caliper up here, another one there, and there's another one here, and then you have your standard rear brake up here. Are they running standard rear brakes? Yeah, I'm sure they are. But just keep in mind, when you guys do watch the final video from these stunt shows, the interviews, the files are going to be cut properly. It's going to be color corrected. It's going to be a LUT added to it, so it's going to look a lot richer. You're seeing like a very raw, like a flat color of the file itself here. And to be honest, I'm super excited to actually get Jason on for a lot of reasons, man. I spoke to him for a bit. And very, very chill guy, very laid back guy, and very down to earth. You know, even though he was extremely, extremely busy, spoke to me in between, kind of like prepping the bikes or bleeding his brakes, making sure tire pressure is good. And even after the show, we chopped it up a little bit more. But, you know, I'm very excited to see him on here. And also even Aeriel and Rietta. That's how you say her name. It's a French name. And look how big is the sprocket cover. I mean, not sprocket cover, the rear sprocket. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. So so much here to kind of cover and talk about. So I guess we'll just kind of change speed real quick. Oh my God, I'm so glad that I changed the frame for a second, because Killer Cam don't show his face. And then I kind of prep all this really, really quickly. And then when I cut to my face here, and I'm also monitoring, I'm like, oh shit, he's right there. He walked past me. That would have been horrible. Good. When you see I'm looking over, I'm like pre-scanning stuff before rolling it just to make sure that I'm good. But yeah, so what's new with me, right? You might as well ask. I did say I bought a bike, and the bike I bought is the KLX 140 RL. It was highly, highly recommended to me. Oh, take a look at that stupid tank grip, man. Look at that. At the very top, man. Really, really dope, you know. Also, guys, it's really fun after you go to an event like this. You shoot everything, and then you go through some of the raw files, seeing it. It's super interesting, and I'm always very excited to kind of work on it. But yesterday, I was so fatigued when I got home. Had dinner, hung out a little bit, had some tea, and then I went to bed. And I finally started importing this maybe like an hour ago. And the funny thing is, I have my garage, I have the bikes pulled out of the garage. I preemptively set up, because I'm shooting the KLX, I'm shooting my gear and stuff like that right after the stream, just to maximize my time. So it's like working crazy, right? But you know, it's worth it, man. I'm really passionate about this. I really love writing, and I really want to succeed in this YouTube space. So for me, you know, working without stopping is a thing, and getting a lot of sleep is a thing for me. So, I know David Pisioni is here. He gave me some wild tips, some really cool tips for wheelie practice. That's what I'm going to be using the KLX for. And I've just been breaking in the bike and riding it around locally in the neighborhood, and thank God, nobody complained, nobody says anything. I guess they've seen me walk my dog around a lot and stuff. And then the KLX is not really loud. It's a thumper, you know what I mean? It's a 4-stroke single-cylinder bike, and there's no exhaust on it, so it's not obnoxiously annoying. And it's taking a lot of getting used to. The bike is so lightweight. The bike is so flimsy sometimes, and I'm so used to sitting on something like the Street Fighter, the Monster, the Hyper, or a Super Bike, or whatever. It's a different world. But I find myself after the second ride, I'm getting really used to it. Gripping the tank gives you a lot more control with your thighs and stuff like that. The other thing I'm encountering that's tough, the clutch lever, your foot clutch lever, right? And then your rear brake lever, they're parallel to the peg, completely parallel. So the minute I put my foot there, I feel like I'm touching it. It's the weirdest thing. I've been trying to kind of hone in and kind of adjust them to something that's more comfortable for me. That's going to be ideal, because I don't want to practice anything. I don't want to start, like, you know, clutching up the bike or cranking the throttle just to get the wheel up until I'm completely comfortable. Like I mentioned, the bike feeling a little flimsy. Now I don't feel that way anymore. Now that I'm a little bit more acclimated with the bike, I'm gripping it with my legs and my thighs and stuff like that, and really standing on the pegs a lot. With these dirt bikes, you have to, most of the time, you got to be standing unless you're doing something else, because you're almost part of the suspension, the travel. So, but in the mix of doing all that, I'm having a crazy great experience. By the way, I gotta change the title if Boosted Catfish doesn't come on. I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna change the thumbnail. One of the craziest thing, I've got a ton of tips for practicing wheelies from a lot of people. I'm actually doing a list. I have an entire layout of what I'm gonna be doing. Even the pros, the cons, how much it costs, the entry price point, getting the bike, best practices shared by David Pisioni, Jason Britton, the Combo Kids, Who else that I've spoken to? There's so many people that's giving. Aaron Colton is giving some great tips, and here's some of the stuff that I've been told that's really awesome. Is start really slowly by hopping the bike. Make that your muscle memory, but that's not the first step. From what I'm told, it's the first step. You want to really learn to actuate that rear brake. You're starting real slow, 10 miles an hour, 10 to 15 miles an hour, just modulating it, just building that muscle memory, and then from there, next step would be to once you start you completely in sync with the bike, you start, modulating that rear brake. And then from there, we're popping, just popping. That's it. We're talking about 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch. And then from there, until that sinking feeling goes away, that fear goes away. And then you have that muscle memory built. Another great tip that came to me, and I thought that was really dope, is, what was it? Yes, here it goes. Don't practice on first gear. First gear is going to be too jolty, too abrupt. So you want to be on second gear if you're clutching it up. It's going to give you a little bit more time to bring up the bike and for you to have that muscle memory to react. So it is so much, it's like a pre-workout, you know what I mean? Just learning all these things and then applying them, making them become like muscle memory. And then the wheelie aspect comes so far down the line. I feel like it's so far down the line because I think so often we hear people talk about, is wheelie. I learned how to wheelie within a month, 2 weeks. There's a safe way of doing things. There's a way that you could do it where you could really not hurt yourself and reduce risk. It's not guaranteed, but there's ways that you can do things to reduce risk tremendously. And that's the route I'm going to take, only because I feel like me being older, right? I'm not 20. You know what I mean? So, most people just 20, have no responsibility, live at home with your parents. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like out of commission. You know what I mean? I have responsibility, so I want to do it the safest as possible. And these are the steps, at least that I'm finding that's working really, really well. Also, doing it the right way tend to be a little bit more costly, right? So transitioning to here, guys, I've bought a ton of new gear. Not any of the stuff that I've been riding with, really. For example, I'll kind of show you guys this. Really, really dope. I didn't know how much I was going to like this, but take a look here. Hopefully you guys can make this out. Let's see. This is my entry-level adventure boot, for off-road. This is Alpine Stars. This one is the Tech 3. There's a couple of them. There's a Tech 7 and a Tech 9. A lot. This boot is freaking absolutely incredible. Let's see here. Really, really dope boot, guys. There's a ton of colorways. Very, very excited. The overall idea is really to protect my foot, my ankle, my shin, and all the way up, always up to my knee. And I want to be as safe as possible. I don't want to hurt myself. And I expect to dump the bike. I expect to drop it. I expect it probably to fall on my leg. I'm preparing for the worst, to be honest. In case something were to go down, I'm at the safest as possible. It's going to take a huge amount of stupidity for me to harm myself unknowingly, or at least not being educated about what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So, again, it's a little bit more costly. To be honest, I didn't even know how much I was going to like the boots. I actually like them as boots themselves. You can see that they have this little area here that could give you a little bit of a flex. But there is no way you can break your knee or anything like that with these boots on, guys. And the difference you're going to be seeing here in terms of entry price point, this is going to be going like around $250 or so shipped. And you can get other boots to ride that's in the price range of $600 to $1,000. Basically, everything stays the same. The main difference you're going to see when we're talking about these boots is going to be the material. But the safety is going to be around the same. You're going to be like higher end material. But it's pretty beefy, to be honest. Very, very heavy. We'll go to the next thing that I picked up. By the way, these are the items that I was just talking about that I'm shooting after the stream. Because I am doing reviews, long-term reviews. Entry price point, part of the entry price point of getting into doing wheelies the proper way, the safe way. So this is why I'm shooting everything, because I want to have clips of them when I talk about them, when I reference things. I also, you guys know Bell has been a huge part of my channel. And I always show them love and support. Here's the helmet we got. I'll show you guys this one here. Very excited. This one took a little bit. My wife and I, we spent time trying to get it. It has a peak. That peak is super easy to adjust. Now, this is a MIPS Bell helmet, guys. It's an adventure helmet. Huge port in the front. It's going to give you a lot of space. And what's dope about this, do you see that big visor in the front? You can still use, how do you call it, the goggles with this. Or you can do the face shield. Let's take a look. Really, really clean. And here's another thing that's dope. Right up top, if you look here. Oh, by the way, let's talk about this colorway. Freaking nasty, man. Shout out to Wifey. She helped me pick this one. We did it with the camo, and I thought it'd be really, really fun. And I didn't want this experience to be subtle. I want the whole, the cowie thing and the wheelie. I wanted it to be fun. That's why I went with a lot of colors and something that's gonna be kind of energetic. You know what I mean? So it's a whole vibe, you know what I mean? So I ended up showed her the camo, and we're like, yeah, for sure, just request this one in. So it's a really, really clean look. And right up top here, even with a glove on, you can easily adjust the peak. Just a heads up, I've shot all of these and already started doing the unboxing, the reviews. It's been super, super busy in the past couple of weeks, or weeks, whichever one you want to call it. Just been super, super busy doing that. Riding jeans, of course. And I have a bullet jean sweater. It's a hoodie that has armor in it and everything. So that's what I'm going to be rocking. Of course, my Alpine Stars. I got Alpine Stars gloves here. Let's see here. Which I probably should have been like gauntlets. Gauntlets are safer. But I want to be able to have a good feel and stuff to the lever and stuff like that. So a lot of time spending on adjusting, my throttle, my clutch, and I'm getting super used to the bike. Very, very excited. And then I would definitely recommend anybody that's getting into this is to really do it the right way, just so you're as safe as possible. And I know people say, oh, you already have bikes, so are you going to get another bike to kind of do this? First off, I'm going to be real. The bikes that I have, they're pretty pricey, okay? I don't want to roll dice on bikes that are very expensive. What is the point of me doing that? That's going to be dumb. Don't be a dumb person. Don't let people kind of talk you into being stupid. Like, oh, yeah, you have the Hyper. A Hyper is a $20,000 bike. You're going to learn on that. You're going to burn the clutch on that. You're going to dump that bike. You're going to do some frame damage. It's going to cost you thousands of dollars. That's ridiculous. Find yourself something cheap. Find yourself something used or whatever. I didn't buy my KLX used. I bought it brand new. But again, everybody's different. Everybody has a different budget. It was not a very expensive bike. So whatever. So, but super, super excited. Another great tip that I received for practicing is really recording it or having someone there with you and just getting so much feedback. It's been amazing. So I'm setting up a camera to watch myself as I'm doing. I could review it later, see what I'm doing, best practices and stuff like that. So that's been the journey, I guess, for the last 2 weeks, because I've had the bike for about 2 weeks now. And I think the first week that I've had the bike, the first week I bought the KLX, I didn't ride the bike. I know a lot of people always say, you get excited, you go out there, you're riding or whatever, you're enjoying it. I don't do that anymore. I feel like, when I was in my 20s, I'd do some stuff like that. Now I spend a lot of my time really understanding everything, getting the gist. Because knowing how to ride or not, every bike is different. Every one of them feels a little bit different. There's little quirks getting feel, the clutch play, and for what I'm using it for, I want to have full comprehension of the bike. Everything, the way it maneuvers, the way it feels, the way it corners, the way the rear brake. And I've noticed this. I got super, super comfortable with riding my Ducatis, the ones that are all tricked. I was talking about lean sensitivity, ABS, traction control, all that stuff. Dude, the minute you lightly touch that rear disc brake for the KLX, that thing locks up like that. You slide the back out so instant. And it's one of those things, if you're so used to riding these bikes with the nannies that has everything, you don't think about it. It's a different experience really, really, really quickly. So, you know, I'm having a great time with it, taking my time and learning a lot of it. Now, the cool thing about this, and I didn't expect it, I actually even shot another video talking about my Kawasaki experience. I'm going to tell you guys right off the bat, it's been really, really great. When I went to the dealer, they were super friendly. I went to 3 dealers, I think. One was okay. And I've also gone with my wife. My wife's usually hanging in the car or whatever. And until I'm like serious, she comes in or whatever, I shoot her a message. I'm like, I'll come through or whatever. I think there's potential here. The third one I went to, they've always been really nice, very approachable. You know, talk to you, any questions, any dumb questions. And I never really pulled my card out like, hey man, you know, whatever, I have this bike, blah, blah, blah. I go in there as basic as possible. You know, yo man, I'm just looking for this bike, you know, and I usually be wearing like sweatpants. I go super low key, whatever. I don't go in no like beating on my chest. It's never been my style. And they were really nice, all right? They got the bike prepped and delivered to my home, and that's always one of my recommendations. Very, very easy, and it was a breeze getting the bike, really. I mean, that's granted, that's how it is when you got money. It's always easy to just get something. And the part that's dope about my Kawi experience, and it's something I have to share with you guys and anyone else that's actually out there that's interested in getting a Kawi. Their manual. So one of the first steps, since it is going to be a stunt bike, I know I'm going to replace stuff. I'm going to break the plastics or whatever. And I started looking into getting a service manual because I plan to do all the work myself. Probably do a camshaft on it. I'm told you could bring it up to 170 horsepower. No, not 100. From 140 to 170. Just get a little bit more. I think the bike's only 10 horsepower, by the way. I think it's only 10 horsepower. But it kicks, man. Once you hit up, it's only 5 gear. I went through my cul-de-sac and down. There's like about a nice little stretch. You crank that little throttle, it picks up. I mean, I think the bike is dropping an easy 70 mile an hour, that little dirt bike. So it's definitely fun. It's not super fast, but you feel it really quickly. The gears are not super tall. But as I was saying that, you know, I'm looking at doing carbs and changing the handlebar and getting shorty levers. And I thought to myself, I'm going to get myself a service manual just to maintain it. And this is where Kawi kind of really got me. And I didn't think of doing a video for this. And I thought, you know what's going to be great? I have to do a video of this because I really like this experience. In contrast to my Ducatis, your service manual tells you your tire pressure, your chain adjustment, like basically, you know, the slack of it. Basically it tells you this is when you're going to have to do your oil change, your major services, and a logbook in the back. Very, very, very basic. And what's in the service, in the manual, basically for the dash. Super basic. The Kawi book, guys, has been a godsend. I think it is so dope. Almost to the point I did an overhead video. I don't know if everybody's going to find that useful, but I feel like this is an experience that I have to share. That the book starts from the very beginning. We're talking about a walk around of the bike, tell you everything that's on the bike, and that's not special. All of the manuals tells you all of this stuff, right? That's not special. What's special about this book, I feel like Kawi is empowering you to work on the bike, to hone the bike, and really make it your own. We're talking about them covering all of your torque spec, as in inch pound, foot pound, Newton meters, okay? Best practices, where you oil, what to oil, how to do an oil change, the torque specs for the oil drain bolt. Basically all of the basic things that any person that knows what they're doing, or somebody that's just starting out that want to feel confident, all of that stuff is there. And I thought it was so good. Even adjusting your chain, they walk you from step 1 to step 5 on exactly how to adjust your chain, how much slack you should have on it, your battery, what else? The choke, how do you adjust that? You need between 1 millimeter to 3 millimeters in your clutch lever, the little gap just to make it feel right. They go. I felt like reading this manual goes above and beyond for you to make you feel very comfortable with the bike, to the point that I'm like, wow, I don't think I really have to take this bike anywhere. How the choke works, the best way to kind of maintain the bike, to run the bike, running your reserve, how to turn it on, turn it off, everything. Super comfortable. If you want to take your wheel out, the way you put it back together, how you torque it back down, and to be honest, I know not a lot of people have torque wrenches. All you need is a torque wrench that goes between 20 Newton meters to 70 Newton meters, I think. So you might need two, because the rear wheel, for you to torque that down, I think the highest was 70 or 77. For a Ducati with single-sided string arm that's giving you 200 horsepower, you need a torque wrench that's going to crank down over 100 to 150, 180 foot-pounds of pressure. That's a lot. So that's a specialty tool that's going to cost a couple of $100s. So, you know, that in itself, guys, is super dope. And I'm like, dude, I got to open up this book and just kind of talk to people about this, because I really like the experience. I felt very compelled to go on the bike, mess around with it. What else that I thought that was super impressive also? How to get to the gas tank, to troubleshoot it, even going down to the carbs and stuff like that. They talk about that, how to clean, best maintain. It's really empowering, and I don't even think you really absolutely need the service manual for this motorcycle. That handbook they give you, which is pretty big. Hang tight. Let me just kind of roll this clip here so you guys could see Jason's bike while I go and grab the book. I want to show you guys this real quick. All right, here you go. I'm back, guys. Sorry, I had to step away real quick for me to find my books. I keep everything very close. So this is my Ducati Hyper Motard. Let's see. This is my Hyper Motard book, pretty standard. My Street Fighter book is pretty standard. This is how thick it is. All right, you're going to get more like very generic style information. Let's see if I can kind of... the light is kind of bright, so I don't know if you guys could see this. Pretty generic. Now, this is, in reference, this is my Cowie book. Very small. This is how thick that is. Just kind of give you guys a little breakdown here. You guys can't see it. Like, I shot this super clean, so you guys could see it. This book has everything. I mean, it's kind of bright here, and I don't want to... let me see if I can turn off my light. Let's see what happens. There we go. There we go. See that? This tells you how to even work on the how do you call it, the rim. Let's see if I can find another thing that's really interesting here. Your fuse box. Let me see here. Take a look. You know, to bleed your brakes. I mean, which is it's not super like, oh my God, like I'm a professional mechanic level of expertise. But I mean, let's be real here. If you just receive this as a gift from someone, Let's take a look. This is how you adjust your oops, sorry. You know, remove your rear tire and adjust your chain. Oh, here's another one here. It's just the amount of information. It's a mountain of information that's given to you to really empower you. This is your air filter, of course. You can clean, come out, guys. They literally show you how to do it. I mean, you would have to be a complete idiot to not be able to handle this. But this is really great news, guys. But I'm just gonna jump in the chat real quick, and we're gonna backtrack to some of this stuff here. Take a look. This is Jason Britton's Sprinter van. And if you see the lady here on the far right, she was a representative for Icon. There you go. Just gonna kind of pull up here real quick. I want to show you. I know Black Moses is in the chat. Also, my wife just signaled me. She was like, "Yo, Black Moses is here." So I'm definitely gonna roll a clip of him just being a great host, just so you guys could see here. And I'm telling you guys, go out there, meet people, and enjoy life, man. It's really good just networking with people. Let's take a look here. This gentleman here just gave Black Moses a huge shout out and stuff. That's the rep from Icon. Again, these are raw footage. It's not cut down yet. Oh, let's go back here real quick. Guys, I truly had an amazing time there. If you guys look on the far left, you see that little small dirt bike? I managed to network with that marketing guy that's there. He's going to be on the stream as well. Super interested. He's going to be talking about mini bikes. We kind of got into the conversation because I bought the small bike, the dirt bike, just to practice. And he had 2 small dirt bikes there. He had another one like the Benelli. He basically, SSR and Benelli. They're located out of California. He will be on the stream so we can kind of chat things up also. Just a ton of opportunity, really. Very grateful just to be out there to talk to people. There you go. See the Benelli on the left. Food truck. Again, I know it looks light here, but I usually like... Oh, another one here. Take a look. That gentleman right here, great guy from the very jump, greeted me, helped me find parking. Let me see if I could find... There you go, right here. Helped me find parking and guide me through. And he's basically the host for Philadelphia... how do you call it? Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. So many great people there at the event. And of course, we have Mr. Black Moses here on your far left. Take a quick look. I captured a couple of B-rolls, of course. Hard Knocks Coffee shirt, really dope. Of him greeting people, going through the event and stuff like that. All of these are going to be put into a full story where you can tell the event and stuff like that. And just really engaging with everyone there. Again, these are all really cool experience to kind of have and just meet people and stuff, guys. And again, you know, the funny thing is, I'm just going to these things a lot more. And I had promised myself for 2022, I'm just going to immerse myself a lot more. Just really talking with people, you know. And I think to some degree, I've gotten so into doing the digital stuff and really being on the camera all the time and in writing. Sometimes you tend to either forget, like, hey, man, these are people and you could talk with and network with. Even a couple of people that bumped into me, they're like, "Oh, you're that guy. You're the guy on the show." It's so wild, and how the channel is becoming more like the show now. So that stuff came out really good. Another thing that's really dope about the overall event, it was a track day as well. So lots of bikes whizzing around. You could hear it. A lot of merch. A lot of vendors. Overall, guys, this was an entire experience, and I would tell anybody, you know, Clutch Control happening 2023, you definitely want to go there. And the food truck was amazing. As you can see the line here, and this was early in the morning. I shoot all of my clips, so one thing that I do, which I never did before, I used to spend all day in the sun just shooting content, and it's like, and I was telling my wife, I'm like, either I'm gonna get burnt out by doing this or just not do it anymore. And it's just taking so much effort. So what I do now, moving forward, I go to an event very early. I do all of my shots. I do all of my B-rolls, whatever's going on. And then I keep my camera for like a quick run and gun, like, you know, having to capture something. And this was very early in the morning, but then I could assure you guys, by the time it was like the peak period of the day, so many people just showed up. There was a slew of bikes. Let me just kind of see here. I'm going to show you guys one of my favorite KTM. I guess this is becoming more of a recap of the event, of a clutch control event, though, to be honest. And again, the show must go on, guys. Whether things pan out or not, I'm here. I'm rocking, and I'm glad you guys are here. Take a quick look. This is a KTM that was there, and I was drooling like a baby at this thing, guys. Take a look. Jesus. After I get nice with the KLX, either I'm just gonna make my Hyper a bike like this, just to really just you could see the race going in the back, by the way, the track day. Gritty. Also, we had a booth with Triumph that was in the building. You could ride any of the Triumph. Actually, I fit perfectly on that Triumph Scrambler. Very, very excited. It was just a lot. I'm just like spewing a lot of information here as we're going and recapping stuff. But this was just like a small group of bikes that was there towards the tail end of the day, actually. Very, very end of the day. Let me just show you the Triumph booth here. Tons of bike for Triumph. Let me see here. By the way, guys, my wife had told me that quite a few people are commenting on the live chat. I am gonna jump in there real quick and kind of pull a couple of stuff up. There you go. This is the Triumph booth, guys. Really, really dope. I did make a very big attempt. By the way, I did make an attempt to talk with people with Triumph and stuff, see if there's about a loaner bike and stuff like that. If I could schedule anything. I don't think that really panned out very well and stuff. But they did invite, like, you know, wherever there's a truck to come through and stuff and try bikes out. So, you know, small step, baby steps. Things will move. But yeah, the whole Triumph lineup is really, really nasty. And I gotta say, man, it's a big deal for someone like Mr. Black Moses to put something like this together, to kind of gather up, you know, manufacturers to come through, a stunt group, and who knows what's the budget to do something like this. Oh, take a look. This dude is pretty cool. He was one of the guys here on one of the Triumphs that was doing stunt. Amazing. He gave me some great tips for best practices and stuff like that. I basically use my opportunity to pick anybody's brain on any information that I'm not super well versed in, and really try to take that knowledge and harness it. And I really use that time. So that's him right here saying, oh, I'm just kind of pulled that here. I'm like, oh man, just give me some your best practices here. And he was talking about, you know, clutch and popping the clutch and stuff with your throttle and practice. Really good stuff. And their Triumph is freaking nasty, by the way. Just a lot. Just so much to cover, man. Let me just actually, you know, I just want to show you guys these two stunt bikes. I've noticed this also, that Triumphs are becoming really popular when we're talking about stunt bike. Take a look at these two. I think these are street triples. By the way, shout out to me for these clips, man. I'm pretty smooth with it. Pretty smooth. Look at that. Look at the your tack and all that stuff is down here. Giant rear sprocket as well. And again, reinforcing the back. Let's take a look here. See my mouse? Reinforcing the back. Just a lot, man. It's an experience, and it's really motivating, to be honest. There's a little bit of fear in my heart practicing wheelie, and I don't want to get hurt. But really seeing other people doing it, and encouraging you, and giving you best safety tips and stuff, really can help you break that, to kind of get into your comfort zone. So that stuff really helped me a lot, just really being around everybody. So, you know, big shout out to everybody. By the way, let me just pull up here the live chat. I know there's been a lot going on. My wife mentioned that, hey, people are talking. So, by the way, guys, if you're tuned in, please make sure you hit that thumbs up. You know, we are here, we are rocking, we are talking, always appreciate it. And the only way the streams get pushed to the top here, it's by people hitting that thumbs up. Outside of that, it does not. There we go. Now we're going to pull up these. Oh, Pete the Greek is in the building. Oh, man, I have a lot to talk to him about, actually, because my wife hit him up. By the way, we do have two super chats. Ducati fam, Florida. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the super chat, guys. Anytime I'm on, if you want to drop a super chat, truly, truly appreciate it. Again, see the KLX, you see stuff coming on and best practices, all that stuff. All those things go to that, and I appreciate your help. Also, you get to be first if I'm reading anything. We have Sasong Moto, drop a super chat also. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Mr. Black Moses, I am grateful for you. Thank you for your support. Man, listen, cut it out, boy. You know, this guy, you still owe me, dude. We gotta get something to eat and hang out and sit down. I know you were busy, there's a lot going on. But if I offer, you can't say no. That's the way it is. You gotta say yes. Oh man. So good. Solo Rider 82 with the super chat, man. Thank you, sir. Salut. I appreciate it. All right, let's see here. Somebody was saying something pretty interesting here about Cali Moto getting a divorce. I think it was Sasong. I really wish I could filter comments by name so I could quickly find it. Is that oh, that's a zoom button. I wanted to see if there was a way I could filter here. Participants, Solo Rider. Oh, actually, I think there is. Hold on one second here. Let me see. I think Sasong mentioned it. I think I could do a breakdown of just him so I could see all of the comments by him. No, participant only. Sorry, guys. I'm kind of learning some stuff as I'm going, and it's pretty common. Toggle timestamp. Oh, there's a timestamp. Okay, I'll take timestamp. Let's see here. What do you got? Governor D Nice. Love this dude. Let's see what Sasong had to say here. Let's see here. Pete the Greek mentioned here for ADV boots. I got the TCX something, WC something, and a man. Do they need breaking in? So I'm assuming this comment's going towards when I showed my Alpine Stars. I'm just gonna tell you now, these are awesome. I've been wearing them around the house just to really getting to be broken in. I'm finding it very difficult shifting and moving my leg around because the boot is so brand new. But I feel good with it. I feel safe, and I feel like if I dump the bike, I'm not gonna hurt my foot, my leg, and I really don't want to get hurt, to be honest. Not that doesn't mean I'm not gangster. I just want to be safe. I want to be correct. I want to make sure that you guys know my deal. You know my wife. I make sure she's good, so I'm there 100%. So I can't afford to be out of the game. So for me, it's super important that. Oh, let me see here. Sasong, 2 crazy news from today. Cali Moto TV just announced his divorce. Sad. And my fam in Puerto Rico fighting Hurricane Fiona. So here's the thing that was interesting. I mean, I've spoken to Bill quite a bit. Wow, I don't remember hitting that. Did that just populate automatically? But it's here. Okay, fine. To my knowledge, I did. Oh, shoot. You know what I think happened? I think by common law, he was married. Because when I spoke to Bill said that's his girlfriend, not his wife. But I think after a period of time of you being together for a long time, by common law, you technically, you could be married and you could still be liable to pay child support if you have kids, or paying alimony to your girl, or, you know, it tends to be just your girl you pay alimony to nowadays. But yeah, that's crazy, man. I'll definitely probably hit him up, see what's good, and hopefully he's good, because I know he's been super low-key with it. I wouldn't wish a divorce on my worst enemy, because I don't think they play out very well for brothers. So yeah, man, let's see what else we got here. Covert Mecca. Yeah, it's a lot that goes into it. I can power wheelie in first gear, but I can't clutch up at all. The clutch up scares me way more, even though I've been told the power wheelie should. Yeah, so it's not just you, brother. I'm told well, Power wheelie, my Ducati Monster, I power wheelie that very easy. If you crank it, it has a lot of torque, and I tune it. I'm doing the what is it? I do have a tune on there, right? So it performed really well. If you crank the throttle hard enough, it's gonna wheelie really quickly. Power wheelies are scary to me. I rather do a clutch up wheelie over a power wheelie 1,000%. First of all, you're in control. You tell the bike when to wheelie. When you crank it, it's just basically a aggressive reaction to the torque being put to the ground, and it brings the bike up really quickly. You know, if you're not thinking straight and building muscle memory with the rear brake, one of these days your power wheelie will end up ugly. You know what I mean? So this is why when you clutch it up, and like I'm told and I'm practicing, you clutch up on second gear, it's not as aggressive pull, and also you have a slight reaction time to tap that rear brake to control it. Like Jason Britton mentioned to me, really great tip. He said he taught his young son how to wheelie. The very first thing he taught him was, before even doing wheelies, riding the bike between 5 to 15 miles an hour, just messing with the rear brake. So you're keeping your throttle steady, right? Which he explained this really clearly. He really stepped aside and made sure he explained this to me very clear in the mix of him being super busy. You're gonna crack your throttle open, leave it open, right? Maybe 5 to 15 miles an hour, not crack it open going down 70 miles an hour. 5 to 15 miles an hour, right? Not any more, not any less. But you're modulating your rear brake. You can't see it, but with my foot, you're modulating the rear to control 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 miles an hour. That's what's control. Because once you clutch up, right, your hand stays steady, right? But then your foot is really controlling it at that point. So really building that muscle memory. This is why I'm like, I'd rather do it right. It's going to be the long road to learn it. I don't power wheelie anymore. I know it's usually fun when you come off a light, a turn, you just crack it, it just goes up. I'm finding if it goes up too high and you don't know how to bring it down, it only goes one way after that. You know what I mean? So no power wheelies for me, man. The only bike I would recommend power wheeling, maybe a super bike that has all the nannies. The Street Fighter is a great bike you could power wheelie, because you can go under wheelie control on the Ducati Street Fighter, for example, or on the Panigale V4S. I know some other bikes have it. I use them as reference because that's what I have. You can set the wheelie control to allow it to wheelie a certain amount of degrees, right? Let's say you want to flex or whatever, you want to crack that throttle, it's just going to wheelie up past something. It'll never go further back. So it's a cheap way of doing it. It's a cheap way of doing it. It doesn't show that you have skill or control it, but you can crack it open. The front wheel will stay up until the bike knows, hey, that's where the limit was set for me. I'm going to bring it back down. You can do that too, but that's not what I want. I want to have full control. I want to master my own domain. I want to do it on command. I want to be able to do it without fear. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. I love the conversation tonight, man. Really, really happy you guys are here. General Cruz in the building. What is a good bike to buy as a beginner bike? Ooh, that's a really fun one. The best bike to buy as a beginner, sir, would be the bike you can afford in a reasonable space. It's not gonna bring you stress for you to maintain or for you to work on. That's gonna be the best bike. In that case, it's kind of a cheap way of me saying don't go out and buy a $20,000 motorcycle. Find yourself anything like $5,000, something like that, $6,000, $7,000. Even that could be a lot for some people. Stay in that realm. Find something that's $3,500, $3,800. You're learning. You're gonna drop it. You're gonna bang it, whatever it may be. It's not gonna hurt your ego as bad if you dump a $20,000 R1. You know what I mean? So find something that's in your price range. R7's a great way to start. MT-07's a nice way to go. Also, I'm naming a lot of Yamahas because they're cost effective. Parts are cheap. A lot of people has them. SV650 is a good bike also. Some people always say, like, you know, an older Ducati. I wouldn't recommend learning on an older Ducati. I know it's nice that it's going to be a Ducati, but the problem with Ducatis, let's say if you can find one that's $7,000, an older Ducati, right? Which is fine, and you guys know I love Ducati, and I would always recommend them. The problem here is the older Ducatis, the technology wasn't completely there yet in regards to maintenance. Their maintenance intervals are very low. So what tends to happen when you're just starting to ride, you're excited, you go every day. You ride, you're adding miles on miles on miles. You go as far as you can. You just go ham. Next thing you know, you're 6,500 miles in, and then, you know, your little wrench come up, says, hey, we need valves done. And based on where you live and who's going to work on your bike, it could be costing you anywhere between $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. You don't go out and buy a bike that's $5,000 for you to learn, and then you're spending another $2,000. This equation don't add up. You know what I mean? You're spending $2,000 to maintain it. You're committing to something that's not a huge deal, right? And then you're planning to drop it, and then you're spending another $2,000 to maintain it. So I don't recommend it. I gotta tell people now, if you're buying a Ducati, you know, if you have money to buy your brand new one, the newest ones or whatever, 20,000 miles for valve intervals, that's very Japanese level. That's what you should be buying, because you ride it for several seasons before you'll have to do that expensive service. You know, just like any Japanese bike. So Ducati's pretty much there, dude. No oil, no leak issues. So that would be my best practice, is what you would get for your first bikes. Let's see, what else do we got here? Life with Adam, you mentioned my moon boots. Those are really cool, though. I like them a lot, actually. I like the look a lot, by the way. Jock in the Box mentioned, I've seen his face on Max Risk's video. I'm assuming you're referring to the Killer Cam, right? Well, for all I know is I respect people's requests, or at least respect what they do. Even if I shot their face or I've seen who they are, I would never reveal who someone is unless it's been okayed by someone else or by themselves to tell me it's okay to put. I would never do that. So, you know, that's just me, man. I respect people's approach and things. David Pisioni here. Also, Mike, if you ever come to Cleveland, bring your bike. I have a property that you could practice on, and once I've healed up, I can ride my son's CRF 50 to show you how to do things also. Thank you, sir. I will be out there for sure. I did speak with 5 Up. I'll definitely go out there again, probably stay out there maybe a week and a half, and just hang out with all of you guys and just kind of chill. I don't want to do content, just ride, explore, and just chill, really. Probably I'd go there when there's no event or anything like that. Just hang out with you guys, really. So that's definitely in the works. I don't know if I'll be bringing a bike, because if I haven't gotten my travel van yet, I'll probably just fly out there. And I know I always have access to a bike when I'm out there with you guys. So not to wheelie. I would never wheelie anybody's bike, by the way. That's one of my rules. Only my own bike I would probably wheelie. I would never wheelie anyone else's motorcycle. It's just me. I wouldn't roll the dice on someone else's baby. All right, let's see what I got here. Covert Mecha mentioned was it? I think it's your. Just got in from a ride. What up, people? Was goody? I didn't even get to ride today, man. I was too exhausted from yesterday's thing. I just been kind of chilling. I've been prepping for Boosted Catfish, which is okay, man. I think it's kind of cool. To be honest, originally I kind of wanted to be the stream just myself, but when I look at the numbers, usually the streams do way better when we have a guest on. And I really thought to myself, oh, I should just do a recap of yesterday's event. So, you know, it tend to work perfect in my opinion. And I'm okay with that here. Let's see here. Oh, Adam did text me. I probably didn't see it. Give me a second here, guys. Yeah, see, he wasn't able to make it. He does have a family emergency, and that's fine, man. Adam, it's all good, brother. We'll catch up, man. There's a lot going on anyway. Hopefully everything's good with the family. Be easy. By the way, David, I hope you're doing a lot better, man. That's really scary what happened to you, by the way. I'm not going to make that public because you didn't tell me to. So I'm just saying, hopefully you're good and you're back in action Let's see, Jack in the Box here. What's up, everyone? Mike has one of the best tuners in the game in the building, so pay attention. Man. He's talking about Booster Catfish. Yeah, both him and EGR Performance, these guys are very impressive when it comes to maximizing motorcycles' potential if you're looking to make it extremely fast. So that's really, really cool. Let me just see something here. Guys, can you guys tell me one thing? Let me know if you think this looks better with the light a little bit darker. Because when I was showing the book, have a little bit of coffee. You know, take a little break. Take a coffee. All right. All right, back to it here. Let me see what else we got. Oh yeah, so I mentioned any hope of having Jason on the stream after meeting him. Yeah, Mr. Black Moses gave me a personal intro of him and stuff like that. We kind of talk. I think we can definitely make it happen. It's really a matter of, even to the point after talking with Jason, he was like, yo, maybe while I'm on the road or while we're driving, I'll do it and stuff like that. I really want to give him his own personal time when he's good and ready to go, and we'll have him on. And to be honest, it was really dope talking to him. Chopping it up with him make me feel really, really proud, you know. Like I told Black Moses that even though the event was hours and hours away, it was a very long drive. I woke up at 5 a.m. to kind of go to clutch control. I wanted to be there early and to be respectful. You know what I mean? I would have driven 10 hours if I had to. Because, you know, I love seeing other people do positive things, bringing people together and have really great intention, man. So it was really, really cool. And as I got there, spoke with him, chopped up with Cam and Jason and Rietta, the lady in the Icon booth, the SSR guy with the mini dirt bike. It was completely worth it, man. And you know what? Showing people support is something that's outside of yourself. It's not just about you. It's about someone else, man. There's a piece of satisfaction in doing that. You know what I mean? And it was really, really, really cool. I was tired when I was going home, and it was just worth it. I was full of adrenaline driving back home, and I got home super late. And it was worth it, man. Really, really cool, man. Let's go here. Fire. Hells yeah, that dude is a legend. He's referring to Jason Britton. Yeah, man, he is freaking a beast on the bike. And he works really fast, very efficient. He's working on the bikes between stunt shows. You know, it's just a lot. And also his sprint event is like crazy cool. Let's see here. Pete the Greek mentioned I'll be there to pick you up, man. Pete is a good dude, man. I just learned he's not in New York anymore. I definitely got to get on the phone. We got to chop it up. Just a whole lot going on, man. Let's see what I got here. Solo ride. I mentioned I got one just like it that I use when I ride the Hyper. You can order a smoke visor if you like. Yeah, I was considering getting a smoke visor, but the safety is the main thing that I want for when I'm practicing wheelies. And I have a goggle. I'm just gonna wear the goggle. Just keep the costs down. I don't need it to be a transition lens. It's $150 or whatever it may be. Yes, I am plugged with Bell. They could make it happen, but I rather use my favors where it really counts. So, but I'm just gonna use the goggle. That's fine. The goggle's tinted. And to be honest, I actually think keeping the visor clear is probably ideal. I'm not looking to look cool. I want to be proficient in what I'm learning. Then I can focus on all the other aspects. So really, really excited. Also, one thing that means also, guys, you will get moto vlogs year round now, because I'm going to be riding the little dirt bike, you know, locally in the neighborhood and stuff. So you'll see like pieces of content, 4 or 5 minute videos, whether it's through the snow and stuff. So I think it's going to be exciting to really be able to produce. So that's one way that's also going to help the channel. Let's see what I got here. I see Pete the Greek for adventure boots. I got the TCX, sometime WC. I think I read that earlier. Let's see here. Go very nice. Not much. Mike was just showing us footage from your event yesterday. Look, look lit. Yeah, man. Really, 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 really dope. Let's see here. By the way, guys, Sasong's garage door is finally working again, so he can actually ride. I know he's dropped a couple of videos. I think 2 videos. Definitely go through, guys. One thing I'd like to build with what I'm doing here on the street. Some of the people that's on here, Jock in the Box, Sasong, Solo Rider. Guys, if somebody is on YouTube dropping videos or they learning, I'd encourage, man, go to their channel, drop a comment, give them a thumbs up, encourage one another, just like you guys are encouraging me. I try to make it my business that I go on these people's channel and say what's up, see what's going on. Just that little encouragement goes a long way. And then, to be honest, let's be real here. You never know who's going to be. My wife is giving me a note, by the way. She's always watching. Okay. She just mentioned your fast life just drop a comment. I'm gonna pull that up real quick. Yeah, as I was saying, really, really important here, guys. What I try to do. And I try to encourage this early on, and I think now that I have a little bit more of a platform, I'm going to continue encouraging this. I don't want to be selfish. I don't want to be that guy. If you know somebody's on here that's trying to pursue YouTube, it's a difficult thing. It's tough to do. It takes a lot of work, takes a lot of effort. I don't care if they suck, if they're just starting out. If they're here, go out there, give them a thumbs up, drop a comment, show love and support, and try to help them out. You guys are here helping me out. You being part of my community. Why not? I can extend that same courtesy. I go out of my way and do it. Also, Mr. How do you call it? He's been grinding for a long time. Mr. 20 West also do it. I mean, so many of us that really either love sharing your passion about writing or just shooting videos or really trying to get into it, man. But you know what? Why not? It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't hurt anybody. It doesn't bother anyone. It doesn't take anything away from your dignity. Show love. Why not, man? And you know what? Don't think it goes unnoticed when you guys come through on the stream and hang out with me, drop super chats, and drop comments, man. I appreciate it. So I try to do the very same thing. One hand washes the other, and I try to reciprocate the same love. And whatever that I can do to help you grow your space, I'll do my best, man. I've told people this before. This platform is not for the rich, the famous, the people with the clout. It's for all of us, man. Everybody can shoot me an email, say, hey, Mike, what's up, man? This happened to me. I want to come on and chop it up with you. You know, when can you book me in? It might not be next Sunday, the next 2 Sundays, because other people are booking ahead of you. We can get you on. I'm fine with it, you know. We can share this platform and all of us can share our stories because everyone has an interesting story. Some might be more boring than others, and I'm cool with that. But there's always little gems in there that we can share with one another. Let me pull up that comment that my wife just mentioned here. Your fast life. Your fast life. Man, people get the coolest name for YouTube or handles, man. I never get to create myself a cool handle like this. It was great meeting you with 650E. Good times. Yeah, man. Listen, it's always interesting bumping into people because to me, it never really sinks in that I have a reach of, 24,000, 25,000 people. And it might not sound like it's a lot. And I used to think that way too, but it is a lot. One thing that was told to me by my wife, picture yourself standing in a room with 25,000 people. Now it doesn't sound like it's very little, does it? Because what tends to happen to us, we tend to compare, I'm not 100 grand yet. I'm not 50,000. I'm not 100,000 yet. By the way, special shout out to my boy Fastlane D. He just hit 100,000. So go out there, man. Help him double up that number. Great energy, cool guy, great videos. So he deserves it. I wanted to give him a big shout out, by the way. I meant to do that in the very beginning. It just didn't click yet. So yeah, it's really, really dope. I bumped into, I think, about like 5 people yesterday that recognized me from the channel. That was kind of cool. Those things they go a long way. They go a very, very long way. Yeah, man, it was a pleasure to meet you too, dude. So you'll probably be seeing me a lot more because I'll be definitely attending more events, more one-on-one stuff with people and riding with people. So that's always really, really good. Let's see what else we got here. Song garage door fix whip. Oh my God. Appreciate the love and support. And yes, Mike does really check out your channel, everyone. Yeah, man, I go to people's channel. Listen, man, I know, you see, the thing is, I know the feeling. I know what it's like when you go out there, you show love to and support to someone else, thinking that, hey, man, I'm just starting out just like this person. Maybe they'll go check out my stuff. And I've been at that place where I've spent so much time, so many hours, where I go on everybody's video and I watch their channel. And, you know, it's pretty explicit that I am starting out too. You know, it's just kind of like code, hey, man, check out my stuff. Give me some feedback. And you get nothing in return. Not even like, hey, man, came through, dropped your sub to try to help you hit 100, hit 1,000, hit 500 or something like that. You know, to some degree, at some point, that really, I think that started bothering anyone. You know, you do it over for so many people and then you realize, wow, you know, nobody really gives a shit about me, about what I'm doing. So, and I know that feeling, so I've been there. So why would I allow someone else to experience the very same thing? So I really try my best. You know, I sub to someone, and in any way, I'm part of the business, right? I'm part of the community. I hit up all the notifications. It's not difficult to keep up with anyone. Once they drop a video, the notification come up. Sometimes it doesn't. But you check your feed, somebody come up, go through, say what's up, you know? Doesn't take a lot for you to watch their video or listen to what they're talking about and drop a thumbs up. You know, goes a long way. I say do it, man. Do it for others and build some good karma. You'll pay that in dividend. And one thing, this is the point I was going to make, by the way. This is the point I was going to make right before that my wife came and kind of gave me that comment to look at. It's a small world, man. You never know who is going to be who tomorrow. You never know who's going to be the next hottest thing, who's going to be the most big shot or has the most sub, the most clout. So be respectful to everyone. You don't know their grind. You don't know their struggle. So I try to be as respectful and try to show support to as many people as I can. I don't know who's going to be who tomorrow. You know what I mean? One hand washes the other. You don't know. I'm not saying I'm expecting stuff from people, but I'm just saying, you know, we've all been there. That one person that thought they were the shit. And then it flipped around. Next thing you know, someone else surpassed you completely. And then now you're like, oh, crap. You know, I was really fucked up to this one person. And then now you feel like a total jackass. So, you know, that's not my vibe. Never been my thing. So spread the love, people. That's what I got here. I will definitely try. I often don't want to bother or distract him. He's talking about me. Let's see here. Nizo Nimoto. Love that name, by the way. Hey, you're doing great. I enjoyed catching up on your stories after the live. Yeah, I appreciate it. And again, you guys, you don't have to be here live, but if you tuned in, you're watching, please hit the thumbs up. You're watching it later. Sorry, that's my mom. My mom always has the cue. My mom has the cue to call me at the worst time. I'm in the office, she calls me there. I'm in a meeting, she calls me there. I'm in a live stream, she calls me there. Practicing a wheelie, she calls me. I would be home, sitting down, chilling on the couch, just vibing, maybe reading a book or playing with my dog. Nothing. The minute I'm doing something of importance, she knows it. It's like a little thing. Yeah, you can always comment after. We always reply, or at least try my best to do it. Song, I think about it this way. Let's pull that up. I think about it this way. Try putting your subscriber count on one room. That's a lot of people. Yeah, that's exactly what I just said. It's like, yeah, because when you think about it, you know, somebody would say, oh, it's 100 subs, not a lot. You know, stand in a room with 100 people, that's a lot. You know, when you think about it literally, when you see the number on YouTube, it's different to visualizing it, or at least being there literally. It's a lot of people. See what I got here. Your Fast Life, let me know when you're ready to do that Z06 video. Lots of laugh. Rolling start, though. I got no traction from the dig. Oh, my God. The Smackdowns, man. Covert Mecha mentioned here, very small world. Yes, it is, sir. it's a very, very small world. So let's talk about this. Is very, very, very interesting. I don't know if I have the clip on here. It is a very small world. So I'm walking through the clutch control event yesterday, and in the beginning, I just got there, right? Not a lot of people. Very, very early on. That gentleman I showed you with the blue shirt, the white hat, he runs the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride in Philly, right? And I asked him, hey, can I park, at a certain spot? He was like, nah, you can't. You could park there. I'm gonna have you grab your car. You could leave it here. As soon as I park, take out all my gear, put my book bag on, I'm getting ready to go. He goes, I just spoke with Mr. Black Moses. You can't. And the funny thing is, I'm saying Mr. Black Moses. He refers to him as Mr. Black Moses out of respect. It's really, really great. And you could tell this guy was a veteran, a lot older gentleman. And the level of respect he had for him was amazing. And he found me a new parking. He guided me through the event. I drove through it just to park. And long story short, I walked through the space, right? There's vendors there. And I saw the SSR. I know I have it here in my book. Give me a second, guys. Let me kind of pull this up here. Just a lot to cover. Very exciting, man. The more experience I'm having, the more grateful I become on a daily basis, because it's just like so much that you learn and pick up. Hold on one second. One second. By the way, my wife just got me that sit and stand desk in the back there for my home office, which is awesome. And I have a little hang bag there. I can hang my bag with all my equipment when I'm traveling. So this is let me see if you guys probably can't see this. Let me turn off that light one more time. There we go. So hopefully you guys can see this. I do have his business card. So this is the little SSR dirt bikes. Right, I'm walking through the booth. Let's take a look here. These are the models, by the way. And there is a comparable to the Kawasaki KLX, the TTR 125, the CRF. Basically, pretty much anything and everything. And these guys, and what I was explaining to him, all right? So, as you guys know, I always mention I don't go over there flexing, saying, oh, blah, 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 I have this and I have that. I don't do that. I'd be very subtle. I will, of course, when you're walking around with a bunch of equipment and stuff you're shooting, people tend to be a little bit curious and stuff. And I was like, no, I'm just documenting stuff. I try to be low key about it. I'm like documenting stuff and kind of, maybe later I might do a video. I don't want to boast, And he was like, hey, you want to start the little mini bike and stuff? I actually have clips of it. I would have to find it, but it's on my server. I kind of just pour everything into it and started organizing files before doing anything. And he was like, well, this bike, he started talking to me about it. And of course I asked price point. There's a Grom version. It's the Bonelli. You guys are going to know it. That one's Italian. He also represents that brand. Also, I think he's either marketing or something like that. I have his business card and we chopped it up or whatever. Let me see here. I know we started texting already because he's going to be on the show. And we were talking about it, and he's like, the Bonelli, it's about like $2,500. The Grom's about like $4,000 with tax and freight and all that. It might be around $5,000. And again, for what those bikes are, what you're going to use it for, it doesn't have to be a big brand. And I always explain to him, like, I'm practicing wheelies. This is what I'm doing. He's like, oh, one of these SSRs would have been great. And they start like $2,500. That's cheap. That's really cheap compared to the KLX I bought. The KLX was a lot more money, brand new, which is fine. I just don't want to have any problems or whatever. And granted, getting a TTR 125 KLX or CRF, whether you buy it used or new in this current market, you're still going to pay top dollars for it. So I'm like, I might as well just buy it brand new. But the SSR was interesting. It's a Chinese bike. All right, I know people don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that, so I'm going to explain, which is a really good thing. We kind of chopped it up. We spoke for about like 35 minutes or whatever. he was explaining that it's an American motorcycle. It's an American brand. So these Asian guys, these Asian Americans designed the SSR in America. They wanted to make a bike that's cheap and fun for you to get and ride, right? And what they did was they scoured Asia and found manufacturers to put the bike together. So the whole idea and all the concept was right here in the US, in California. They just outsourced the work. Granted, we're talking about, it's like the Ducati Scrambler. Not all the Ducatis, let's be clear here. The Scrambler is done in Taiwan. The other main Ducatis are done in Italy, yes, but some of the smaller brands, a lot of them were not built where you guys are thinking they are. So it's in the same space, and they have a huge aftermarket. We started talking about all of those things, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a great, and that's how we kind of bumped. I'm like, this would be a great conversation to have. I'm like, we do have a stream where we have people that come through and be part of a conversation. I would love to hear it, because not because it's just a motorcycle. I just thought it'd be a great, as he's telling me about the brand and how they asked him to move to California and he wanted to stay here in New York. And he started explaining how it was developed in California. It's not just a Chinese bike. They're just outsourcing the parts and getting it manufactured. But their base is a United States company. And when you think about it, most companies, that's how they're doing things anyway now, because, you know, for manufacturing, keeping the cost down, right? So right then and there, the light bulb just went off. He was like, he didn't say, I was like, just so you know, I'd love to hear their story. And I'd like to, you know, we share a lot of stories on the stream amongst viewers and stuff like that. And other people would like to know about getting into the business and how they could. And I'm like, I think you guys need a little bit more exposure. I think our platform would be great to tell the story about the brand, you know? So, and hence why he was like, hey, here's my card. Let's see what we can make happen and stuff like that. So I think it'd be cool for you guys to see that. So there you go. And that's how that started. So might as well thought I'd kind of share. So just a lot of networking. My coffee is getting cold, by the way. I should have put the lid on this. So let's see what else we got here. Let's see, just kind of pulling up a couple more here. Oh, you know what's cool too? I guess I'll jump back to the screen by the live chat. I'm going to jump back to the live chat. I just want to kind of show you guys this also. What I thought it was super cool too with the clutch control event, how down to earth was the stunt guys. All right, I'm going to play you a clip here. Oh, sorry. I'm going to play you a clip here of Jason. This is prior to a show, and by the Sprinter van, and those two guys he's talking to, that's Alec and Alex. They're both out of New Jersey. They're a stunt team actually, and they both gave some great advice also about wheelies. They're really, really good. Aaron Colton and both Alec and Alex had both mentioned to me to get a small bike to practice as well. So I've been gathering a lot of information. This is me just setting up shots and stuff like that. So here's a good little tip and trick for you guys that are into YouTube or setting up. So what I'm doing here, if you can see, I don't know if you guys can make this out. So let's take a quick look. Maybe I'll do a video where we talk about stuff like this. Let me just pause this. Maybe I'll do a video where we can talk about stuff like this and kind of help one another in terms of production. I think there's a big struggle area for a lot of people that they want to do content. They're a little fearful about producing or telling stories. That's something that part of my profession, so I could probably help with that kind of stuff. So what you're seeing here, my first shot, right, of Jason talking, right? This is a more of a development shot, and you'll see me reframe the camera a little bit. All right, this is the development shot. I do it for a little bit while they're talking afar, right? If I have enough footage of everything, of them talking, so basically he's having an interaction with three people, right? The guy on the far left, he's observing, and then the two people, Alec and Alex, he's talking to, right? As you can see, I record that thoroughly, then I move. Let's see. Okay. And I shot it again with the guy's shoulder in the scene, just to give it depth. But then I move this way, it gets interesting. If you look at Jason here, right? Close up, right? You can see him a little bit clearer. All right? But look what happened here. I don't know if you guys noticed. He's blurred out, right? Alex is in focus, right? So now I could cut this file up where it looks like they're talking with one another and layer them. And you could see, and if you guys watch movies, they do this in movies all the time, where they're changing, racking focus on who's talking. So now as they're talking, you could see, oh, Jason's talking, he's in focus. And then of course, now it's just Alec, right? But then you can see, if I go further, you'll see she's in focus, but he's on the background. So the eye focus on her talking. But what happened is, all of this information is going to be triple layered, right? I have the opening shot, him talking to you. When she's replying, the camera changed. When he's replying, the camera changed. When Alec is replying, it changed to him. So we're going to layer all of those into... Should put the AC on. I feel like I'm getting hot. It's going to layer into triple, a several angle shot. Basically, I mean, usually you would have multiple people shooting something like this, but when you do it enough by yourself, you'll get a general idea. So now I swapped into his angle, right? So now I could have a full conversation. I'm just adjusting my exposure since he is a little bit more melanin in his complexion. I always adjust really quickly. If you have how do you call it? If you have a good setup, you can read those things really well. Another great tip, I don't watch the screen. I know a lot of people watch the screen. I don't watch the screen when I'm shooting those. I'm watching focus clarity. I'm also watching how much light is hitting, how saturated. So I'm seeing like what you're seeing is not what I see. I see like a bunch of colors. I read them by colors and a graph. So I could tell that he has more melanin in his skin, so it's darker. So I adjust it. And again, so now she's talking to him. You see that? Now her hair is blurred and Alex in focus. So now we can have a full conversation within cuts. It's going to look like they're all talking, answering right away. So here's a little tip for you guys on some back-end stuff on how I do something like that. And again, if you cross-reference that, the conversation, the B-roll of the motorcycles, you know, let's see here, B-roll of the icon booth and stuff like that. It looks like they're at the event, they're talking, they're exchanging, you see the stunt. To the naked eye, to the person watching this, you can't tell when the conversation happened. You can't tell when is when. It just looks like one big exciting adventure. So same thing here. I did the same setup with the icon marketing rep. Also just talking about the product and stuff like that. Oh, here's the little dirt bike right behind her. I don't know if you guys spotted that. And they had a raffle to give a free helmet, which I did not enter. I don't know why. I'm not lucky to win anything, to be honest, but they did have a raffle that you could win a helmet and stuff like that. Let's see here. I want to show you guys one more thing here. Let's see here. You're going to take a quick look at the Killer Cam's bike. He has a Yamaha R1. Of course, we're going to have to do that. People love R1s, so we're going to do that. This is freehand shot. You might see it's a little bit shaky or whatever. Let me just proof the video here, make sure that nobody's face that wasn't meant to be shown is shown. Yep, so it's pretty good. Alright, let's take a look. This is Killer Cam's R1 right there. And you can tell, man, he's been giving that bike a beating, boy. It has winglets on it. Custom colorway. He's crashed it. You could see the damage on the side, but, you know, he just keeps the ball rolling, man. He's still enjoying his bike no matter what. His exhaust, just a lot, man. Really, really cool. I'm actually gonna release a video of me just doing a quick highlight, maybe like a music video showing his R1. I'm gonna be honest here. This is gonna be like me. I thought when I saw the bike, yeah, I like the bike and I want to show it. And this is one of those YouTube things. To be honest, it's a little not shady or sketchy, but to be frank about it, I'm doing a video of his bike. That way I could clickbait his name into my title to drive traffic towards my channel. YouTube is a dirty game sometimes. Again, I mentioned that to him, of course. I'm not doing this like blatantly, like I'm doing it on the back end or whatever. But yeah, it's one of those things, you know. I'm going to be doing a little walk around, just showing his bike, showing the carbon fiber, and then I get to tag him into it. So, you know, small little tips, small little stuff like that tend to be kind of cool. That you can actually get done and stuff like that. So we'll see. Let's see, what else did I have here from the event here that I can kind of quickly show. I think this was my 4K footage I'm trying to see. Oh, no, that's the... Here's the 4K of that. I shoot stuff a couple of different ways, by the way. Actually, you know what? Give me a second, guys. I'm just going to screen that real quick. Just want to make sure. Yeah. By the way, if you guys ever want to see me do a stream where we talk about... editing and capturing footage and stuff, I think it's something I'm pretty proficient in. I can definitely do that. I don't know how well that would do, but I think sharing information and knowledge is kind of cool, especially when we're talking about becoming a better content creator or whatever, or producing more stuff. I would love to do that. I actually really like talking about gear and equipment and everything else. And if you guys are interested in that, let me know, man. I definitely want to do that. I think it'd be kind of dope. By the way, I bought like a super small rig for me to cover this event. This was the rig that I brought. Hopefully you guys can see that. Super powerful camera, custom lens on there. I had like a handle, so you know. And then I have I have like 3 different cameras. It's not cheap, and again, this is why I always say, oh, people, you know, do super chats or whatever. You guys want to come through, all that stuff go towards that. I have 3 different cameras. Each camera has multiple lenses. All that stuff tends to rack up really, really quickly. And again, I always say I'm pretty fortunate, and I always tell you guys want to support what I'm doing, you want to show love. You know, hitting those links goes a long way because that offsets a lot of stuff. So that allows me to continue doing it at the same level that I'm doing it now. But yeah. This freaking bike is nasty, man. Really, really cool bike. I'm told most people that have this bike love the sound, love the cross-plane crank, but they're not as comfortable for daily riding. Hence why he he bought a naked bike. Actually, he moved pretty much similar to what most people are moving, even including somebody like myself. A naked bike. Everybody has like a super bike and then a naked bike set aside. Take a look at the front. Look at the carbon fiber. Really interesting on how he set up his bike though. Really, really cool. Really dope vibe on his bike, I gotta say. All right, let's see what's good with the chat here, guys. If you have any questions, I think we're running on a good 2 hours now. So I don't know how much longer we'll keep this rocking. My plan is to, after the stream here, I'm gonna go right back out. I'm gonna go to the garage. I kind of did a setup on my deck. I'm gonna do some B-rolls of the boots that I just showed you guys a little bit earlier. The Tech 3s, and then the helmet, the goggles. Again, I'm documenting everything. David Pisioni, he was in the stream a little bit earlier. I'm documenting all of the steps of me practicing, learning how to do wheelies, and documenting the costs of how much it would cost somebody doing it from scratch with the bike, the gear, safely, that is. Because I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, I'll just get a used bike in this practice. Yes, you can. But for me, being a little bit more mature about things, I want to be safe. I don't want to hurt myself. And I want to make sure I'm there to help, my family, and not for me to be out of commission and stuff like that. So I'm doing it the slow way. Actually, I can't say the slow way, because if you practice every day, from what I'm told, time frame wise, if you're practicing daily, let's say half an hour in the morning, half an hour at night daily, you should be able to get this down for muscle memory within a month or so, depending on your learning level and stuff. If you already know how to ride and you already understand how the rear brake work and stuff like that, it could be even faster. Because like I spoke with Killer Cam, we're revisiting some of his older videos when he was learning. He learned how to wheelie on a small bike too, and then he moved to the FZ09, and then now he's super proficient in it. So if you're tackling it on a regular, you can actually get it done. So cost, kind of bike, best practices. I'm gonna do a list of tips from David, Jason, Aaron, the combo kids, pretty much anybody that's collectively gave me great advice that I find useful. Also, the guys at Motivation USA dropped me some great tips. He said, I don't want to say his name. He doesn't have like a handle or anything like that. Basically, you could try practicing on a dirt road or on grass, because you are gonna dump your bike. You have to wrap your head around, because you will drop the bike, right? The chances of you hurting yourself falling on the grass is less. It's almost like learning how to do a kick flip on a skateboard. A lot of people start practicing doing kick flips on the grass without the skateboard moving, just to get the motion right? If you fall on the grass. So two things tend to happen. You can't hurt yourself too badly on the grass if you drop the bike or you fall as well. Second thing is, you're less likely to damage the bike if you drop it on the grass. So tons of great tips. I'm telling you, the community has been instrumental in building my confidence and making me feel like, yeah, you could do this. You could learn it. The other tip that was given to me also, record everything so you can watch it over and be your own critique, or at least see what you're doing well, see what you're not doing well, see what you can adjust. Because the quicker you can see what you're doing and know and correct it, the faster you'll get everything. The less likely you make those mistakes. Or have someone with you. You probably should have someone with you. If you're ready to dump your bike, you hurt yourself, you can get help quickly. That could be time of the essence. Worst case, you got to look at all the cases where it's going to go great. You're going to have a good time, but there's still a possibility something bad can happen. So I look at all aspects. The jeans I'm wearing, they have armor on the hips. They have armor on the knee. So I'm pretty like armored all the way through and through. And for me, my goal for 2023 is to be super proficient and wheeling anytime I want and just doing it any way I want. And I just don't want this to be something. It's something I've always wanted to do and do it well. And there's always been a fear. Also, the other problem is all the bikes that I have, or I think that I think they're nice bikes, and I didn't want to roll the dice on it. And my wife was like, why don't you just go out and buy a bike? Like, what's the problem? Just buy something to practice. And that's A's style, you know what I mean? It's like, she's always like, oh, you like this? If it's not a problem, why don't you just get it and just do it? So what? You know, she's you know, the other thing is she understands where I'm at, and so I could do that, so she could say it too. So I don't want people to take that as like, oh, you can do whatever you want. So that's always been her vibes. Like, yo, just go out, get the bike, and go and practice. You know, she's very supportive in that nature, and it's a good thing. And I didn't want this whole wheelie thing to haunt me later. I didn't want it to be one of those things where I'm down the line. It's like, man, I should have really learned this when I had the opportunity and just kind of get used to it. Now I could walk away saying, hey, I did learn it and I'm okay with that. Or I learned it and I didn't like it and I don't do it. But I know I tried it, I learned it, and I either like it and I enjoy doing it, I do it intermittently or whatever. And I think it's going to be definitely beneficial on my channel. I think there's an entertaining aspect. That's another thing, being honest about it. There's an entertaining aspect that people do enjoy watching wheelies, and I think it's going to add value also on that spectrum. And I could make a choice. I could say, oh, I know how to do it, and I choose not to. But what I will be able to say is I didn't give up on it, and I didn't not do it. So that's good for me. That's my walk away from. So. Because if it wasn't, I could look at the same case. I could have been like, oh, I'm scared of motorcycles. I never learned it. You know what I mean? So, and everything's possible. So, let's see what we got here. Got my boy Pete the Greek here. Just dropped a comment. Let's see. Hopefully I got that up. Yeah, what's up? If I'm not wrong, most Chinese 250 engines are straight Suzuki 250 thumpers. Yeah. Yes, sir. Might be different branding on them. Different logos embossed on them. They're all pretty much like a standard, man. But the one thing I can tell you with the SSR, that bike is oil cooled, so technically it's kind of like a better, and it's disc brake in the back, disc brake in the front, oil cooled. And the KLX I bought, the TTR 125, the CRF, they're all air cooled bikes. And to be honest, one of the main reason when I went with the main reason I went with the KLX 140 is that it had disc brake in the front, disc brake in the rear. All the other bikes had drum brakes, and drum brakes kind of suck. They're not perfect, and I want to be able to learn on something that's ideal. It also has an electric starter. The downside, there is no kickstarter. But then yesterday, while I was at the event, I had to kickstart that small bike, man. Dude, on a hot summer day, I don't want to be standing in the sun trying to kickstart a bike. You know what I mean? Like, if my battery's dead, dude, I'm just going to freaking put this thing in the garage and go get another battery. I'm not doing that. Let's be real. Also, I'm going to get a trickle charger and leave it on there. And I'm going to be riding the bike all through the winter anyway. So, it's all good. But yeah, it's definitely, sorry, I'm, Covert Mecca, one more time. That camera to me, Tone? Not sure. I could be reading that wrong. Let's see what else we got here. Pete the Greek, my Cleveland Cycle Works has the heist, my Cleveland Cycle Works, the Heist has a Suzuki 250 with a different branding, and it's made in China. Yeah, listen, man, a lot of these things are made out of China, man. They're just like slapping different brandings on there, so it's a little bit, you know, manufacturing is cheaper somewhere, and people are just gonna go there. It's kind of a tough thing, you know, unless you're buying like the big brands, your Triumph, your Ducatis, your BMWs coming out of Bavarian work stuff. So, you know, you might get that. But for now, a lot of it, yeah. No, KTM is Husqvarna, you know. All those bikes, somewhat of them are the same. So it's very interesting. I'm looking to get a new Harley Sportster S. Harley Sportster S. I'm going to look that up. I want to see how that looks like. I know you had like another bike similar to that, Pete. What happened to it? Let me see. Harley Davidson. By the way, guys, if you're still tuned in, you're watching, definitely hit the thumbs up. I always ask that of you guys. Let's see. I'm going to pull up that Harley site here. Sportster S. Let's see what we got here. Bikes. Let's see here. Dang, that's how you know I haven't been in a Harley website, because I don't know where the hell to go. By the way, we're gonna deny those cookies, so we're good. I don't need Harley cookies. Oh, yo, that's a cool bike. That's a cool ass bike, though. I think if this bike was actually with a smaller tire in the front, man, I think I'd be a little bit more inclined. I think the fat tire in the front, I don't know how great that's gonna be cornering, but I think it's a really dope looking bike. I think that's Harley definitely has a winner with this look, man. They're finally stepping into a modern day and time, which is kind of nice. I think it's a cool, cool looking bike. They actually did it like the concept. Let's see the other colorways they got here. Ooh, that white though, magnesium, and that's the Revolution Max engine, right? To my knowledge, I actually like that color better right here. This color's dope. I could see myself riding something like that. Yeah, I think that's a cool bike, man. I'm actually very shocked that Harley actually stepped out of the comfort zone. I think a lot of these companies are finally getting it, Let's see here. Yep, Revolution Max 1250 engine. Let's see performance here. Wow, I'm surprised. Only 94 foot-pounds of torque. I mean, that's a lot. I'm just saying. At 6,000 RPM. Very cool looking bike, though. I think that's a cool bike. Have you guys seen the move that Ducati's making? Ducati's gonna make the Diavolo V4. Let's see here. Ducati V4. The devil. That's what I call it. Let's see here.
What inspires you?
Not you, bitch. Let's see here. In a second. Let's skip this here. This is a Moto Bob video, so he does some pretty cool videos, this guy. But that's the new Ducati Diavolo V4. That's not it here, guys, by the way. I'm sorry. That's not the bike, but he's just kind of showing it. But then let me show you here where... look at little Street Fighter. There we go. Hold on. There we are. See? That's the V4 engine right there, boys. I think that engine is gonna take over Ducati's entire lineup, by the way. I think the L-Twin engine is probably gonna stay on the Monster, on the Hyper. The Pikes Peak's gonna go V4 already. V4. Street Fighter V4. Panigale's staying strictly V4. I think at some point they're gonna phase out the V2s. But it's a new barrier for Ducati. And if I'm a betting man, that X Diavolo V4, that X Diavolo V4 we're looking at on the screen, that's a spring-loaded engine. It's not the bevel system, where basically it's moving it mechanically. This is more spring-loaded. So that means higher service intervals, just like a Japanese bike. For a bike like this, just like the Pikes Peak, there is no reason for the Ducati to use the bevel system, because that's going to require more maintenance. A bike like this should be a cruiser that you're going to use all the time. That's going to be that too. So, you know, maybe there'll be like a baby version they'll put on the... See, I don't see them putting the V4 on the Monster ever, because that's gonna... It's like the snake eating itself, you know? The L-twin engine is gonna stay at a price point where people can have an entry to Ducati. You're gonna fall in love with Ducati. Then your next steps is going to be to get yourself a V4 that's more expensive, $25,000, $30,000, $35,000. That's what happens then at that point. But I think moving forward, all of the big boy joint, the staple, the hero products for their brand is gonna be the V4, and that's what that's gonna be. Let's see what we got here, guys. We're going to jump into the live chat real quick, and then from there, we're going to be wrapping it up. We are 2 hours in. Pete the Greek SSR has, let's see if I can put that up here. Yeah, it's on the screen. SSR has the Benelli TRK 502, which I rode in Greece and love. Small adventure, perfect little thing. Yeah, man. I mean, listen. If you're on a budget, you don't have a lot of money, there's so many choices and options out here that you can get to and then ride and learn and get proficient. And then as you progress with your riding, in your personal life, in your career, then you can level up on everything, man. You know, you're not stuck anywhere. So the world is yours. You pick and choose the path you want to go, man. It's an adventure book. You pick and choose. Listen, dude, I grew up pretty poor. I grew up pretty broke. And I chose a different path in the adventure book. I didn't want to be the street dude. I didn't want to be the hood dude. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be legit. I wanted to pursue my passion. I wanted to achieve my goals. I wanted to do what I wanted to. And I focused. That's it. You know, it's your world. You pick and choose where you want to go. Covert Mecha mentioned it. Tony. Okay. It's what you were doing with the camera. Oh, okay. Blur, that's just the official name. Okay. Yes. Yes. I love how that flew over my head. Solo Rider 82. Definitely looking to see you use those new skills on the Hyper later on. Yeah, man. I think it's going to be a great thing. Another great thing I have to mention here to people, if you're practicing wheelies, and you get a bike like a starter bike, a small bike to learn it, a bike like the KLX, TTR, CRF, or whatever. These bikes has no nannies, so no ABS, no anti-lock brakes, no traction control. So for me to say this to you, the point I'm trying to get at, remember, when you get back on your main bike, for example, my Hyper, right, which I believe is going to be like my wheelie happy bike, whatever. Make sure, at least for me, what I'm going to do is make sure you turn off your ABS, because that can cause you to crash. If you're doing a wheelie and you have those things turned on, the bike thing is going to interpret that as if it's malfunctioning or something is going on wrong. It's going to help you correct it. That can cause you to crash. So either you turn those modes off every time you're going to do it. My plan is to create, which I've already started. I created a custom setup when I jump on the Hyper. If I know I'm going to ride and wheelie, I'm going to do it to my custom. Like, you know, you could name it whatever you want. It could be like custom street riding or custom wheelie riding or whatever. I know my ABS on the front wheel is on. Traction control is on there. The rear end of my bike could skid out if I wanted to. And if I'm modulating the rear brake, which will give me the same feeling as a bike that does not have any nannies. So remember that, because if not, if you practice, you get very proficient, you're good in wheeling, and you're doing it, and you jump on your main bike, and you're doing your wheelie, and then the bike jerks or put on ABS while you're modulating the rear brake, that could set you up for a bad day. So keep that in mind. Let's see what we got. Again, just research and research and research. To be honest, I spent most of my time learning the back end stuff before doing the actual physical thing, because the more information you have prior, the better you can tackle the challenge. Pete the Greek here does not need valve adjustment ever in full electronic package. He's talking about some of these smaller bikes. Yeah, man, that so much benefit to some of these motorcycles. Again, you don't have to pick what everyone likes, everybody rides and buy. You can do what works best for you, man. Futuristic Viper, what's good? Thank you, sir, for tuning in. A little bit late in the game. We're going to be wrapping up soon, but if you're here, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, guys. You know, it's not a lot I'm asking for, but we definitely got to hit the thumbs up. We have to make it a thing where all the videos are hitting between 50 to 100 thumbs ups. That way YouTube reads it as this is something valuable to feed to people's feeds, or at least let them know that we're doing it. Pete the Greet also mentioned here, I could get behind a Diablo V4, but man, they are expensive. Come on, man, you got this, Pete. You got this. Stop playing around. I know you're doing good. You're doing well. There you go. Well, I think the entry price point is going to be expensive, yes, but look at it on the bright side. You don't have to worry about the maintenance. This thing's going to be running like 30,000 miles without valve. You just got to change the oil, really. You know what I mean? So it's not much you have to worry about. It's like a Japanese bike. The futuristic Viper I mentioned here also. That was the only move next for the Diablo. Yeah. Though I don't know how I feel about the exhaust with the 4 exhaust holes. 50-50 on there. I might have to see it in real life. Maybe it's a temporary one. Let's see here. Oh, he's talking about the Harley for the... Oh, wow. Wait. So you mean the Harley does not need valve adjustment ever in full electronic package? For $15,000? It's pretty good. The only feedback I've seen about that Harley, I think people I've seen have given, or at least negative or constructive, is that it's a backbreaker a little bit. The travel for the rear suspension is so little, but I think that was a compromise between them building a bike that's a concept bike and making the concept the closest to the actuality. It might be a small thing that you might have to eat up, but I think that bike looks really dope. I think that bike looks really cool. And I'm not a Harley guy, and that one I could wholeheartedly be like, yeah, they've got the juice with that bike. Looks cool. Solar Rider, I'm going to reach out to you about the custom settings. The ABS freaks me out the other day. Sharp braking at the red light. Yeah. The package on the Hyper is really nice about the ABS and traction control, but you can turn all of it off. Again, it's one of those things, guys. I'm telling people, I know it doesn't sound cool, it's not vibey or whatever, it's not lit. When you get your bike, man, go through that manual from the beginning to the end. Know everything about it, know how to customize it, know how to make it work for you, and then get super familiar with the bike. Ride it within a 50-mile radius of your home, 20-mile radius. It's really feeling everything out. And then you'll become a master of the bike. I think it goes a long way, really. So, and before I didn't used to do that. I got very spoiled. When you buy like a Ducati, when they deliver your bike, they go through it with you. They go through the manual. You know, they show you all the buttons, how you could do everything. You know, that kind of spoils you a little bit. But there's nothing like it when you go through your own manual, your own information, and then you understand it. You're going through the buttons and repetition, and you get it. Set your bike up your own way. The other thing a lot of people tend to not do when they get a new motorcycle, they jump on there and start riding, you get super excited. Those are all newbie shit, man. Don't do that. Sit on the bike, feel how the levers feel. If it's straightforward like this, it's not good. You always want to have a little bit of a bend, because when you're on the bike, you want to have an angle down to the levers. A lot of people never think about it. Same thing on your rear brake and then your gear lever, right? Make sure it's at the right position, adjust it. So I just been spending time doing a lot of that stuff, man. It's not the exciting stuff, but these things will really help you get super comfortable with the bike really quickly and prevent doing dumb mistakes in the beginning, which tends to happen to a lot of people in the beginning, really. It's like, yo, they drop their bike really early on not because they don't know how to ride. I think people tend to, out of excitement, they go out there, just start riding it and not completely. You're getting familiar with a bike going down 100 miles an hour down the highway. You know, it's kind of wild. Just ride the bike. Doing the braking period is one of the best times to kind of understand the bike. Mess around with everything, because you can't go too fast. And I know some people say when you're braking the bike, you can crank it up to 15,000 RPM. I mean, it's up to you, really. Do what you want. Do what you think is best. But, you know, I go by what they say, man. And then it's only a couple of 100 miles after that. You can crank it in whatever way you want. But, yeah, it gives you time for you to kind of go through the book and understand it. So, great way what I do is when I'm in the office or whatever, I always have a manual with me for one of my bikes. On my lunch break, if I'm not doing anything, I'm not chilling, I start going through it, just like, oh crap, I never noticed that. I didn't know this one thing. So, just go through them. But the sucky part is really taking the time to go through them, because most of the time you want to go out to ride. It's hard. Am I looking at a manual? Or if my wife's watching a cooking show or whatever, and I'm just kind of vibing right next to her, chilling, I'm probably going through the manual, going through the manual, whatever. So, choose the time wisely, whatever. It's up to you. Beat the Greep. Nah, nope. On the Revolution Max. Yeah, on the Revolution Max, saying that is very little maintenance. I mean, that bike's pretty. $15,000 is nice, though, man. I mean, there's very little that you can get for $2,000, for $15,000, $2,000, $15,000 nowadays. So that's a blessing if you can get a bike like that at that price point. I think the cheapest bike you can get, the cheapest bike you can actually get is $15,000, and out the door with tax and all that stuff, you're gonna be a good 17 or 18, really. Ducati has changed the game, really, with them coming with the price point of $30,000 to $40,000. If you notice, all other bikes are going up, especially in the economy now. All bikes are becoming standard. Like, if you don't have 20 grand, you're not gonna have a nice bike. Let's be real. And when I say nice bike, I'm not talking about in general, like everybody. I'm talking about a nice bike, let's say to you, but then if you pull up anywhere, everybody's be like, oh, that's fire. You could buy a $10,000 bike. It's gonna be dope to you, but it's just it's an average bike, and there's nothing wrong with that neither. I'm just saying, if you want to have something that has the juice, you're gonna be at 20K. I'm just saying, that's what I think. Now, I'm not stopping traffic with a KLX 140. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's not really 15 with tax and well, I'm talking about MSRP 15. We're talking about freight, shipping, and in taxes, you're gonna be at least 18.5, almost 20. You still end up being there, and if you buy something that is 20, you're gonna be at around 20. Remember, the more the money, the higher the tax. So, it is what it is. When you buy a brand new bike, the geometry is different due to the brand, new tires, weather, and feel it or not. Yeah, man. Every single motorcycle is unique. And to be honest, I felt like even to me, what I realized this summer is that going to Texas, going to Detroit, going to Nashville, and jumping on so many different bikes, and everyone's like, yo, ride my bike, you could chill, whatever, because they see you on YouTube, they see you ride, whatever, you corner well, whatever. Everyone's comfortable, but every single bike's different. And I started thinking to myself, I'm like, wow, man, I think I'm in a place that's very privileged, where I have multiple bikes that I could jump onto. So much so that I'm starting to forget that they're all different. And I started realizing, wow, I really neglect some of my bikes. And hence why I started riding the Hyper a lot. And I'm realizing, wow. And the funny thing, I bought the Hyper outright. And it's been 2 years I've had this bike. This bike has, 800 miles on it? Right? The Street Fighter has under 1,000 miles on it. I'm jumping around between a lot, because when you jump around between a lot of bikes, it's hard to kind of offset my Monster has a lot of miles on it. And I still ride that most out of everything else, because it's just the bike, really. There's a lot of sentimental value of this bike with me and my wife riding, so it's always like fun to kind of reminisce with that bike when I'm out with it or if I go somewhere. But it's like now I feel like I'm just starting to learn the Hyper. And I thought to myself, I'm like, wow, man, that's kind of like not an asshole move, but like kind of dick move. Right? It's like I should have really known this bike like the back of my hand already. And I know I ride it. I enjoy it. And the thing is, the Hyper is definitely challenging, because if you're not a good rider or comfortable rider, it's hard to enjoy that bike, because the height alone in itself, the challenge, the vertical challenge on this bike is crazy. I saw 2 people with Hypers yesterday. Nobody's able to flat foot this bike. I've only met 2 people that's able to flat foot that bike. So, and we're talking about like 6'5", 6'6" people, freaking exorbitantly tall. So, you have to be a really good rider to handle the Hyper properly and still enjoy that bike. Really. A lot of back brake modulation, a lot of shifting of the body, and leveling for you not to drop the bike. So, but Good stuff though, man. Anyway, guys, really, really great night. I had a good time just chatting up, just talking, the clutch control event, reading comments, replying to people, you know, and thank you for all the super chats tonight, guys. It goes a long way. By the way, a big shout out to everyone that's hit the link to shop with motivation. Last month we had a really great month, you know, really good returns on that. So really dope. Appreciate you guys shopping with them. And it definitely helps the channel. It helps us get a KLX, man. So, you know, really dope stuff. And, you know, hopefully I'll catch you guys on the next night, man. I won't keep you guys too long. This has been running for about 2 hours. And, again, man, when I drop a video, if you guys don't mind, go through, hit that thumbs up, drop a comment, man, share it with somebody. Help me make that 25,000. This has been a long time coming. I know I'm just getting the bike back, the channel back to where it needs to be, and it's been growing really quickly. I can't complain about that, and thanks to you all. So, oh, I didn't even see that was there. Yeah, just wanted to say thank you to everybody that tuned in, man. Special shout out to Pete the Greek. I know he's it's been a long time since we kind of hung out and chat. Good looks for coming through on the stream, man. It's every Sunday night. So, by the way, Pete, I would actually love to have you on, man. There's been so much that's been going on with you riding and not riding as much and stuff like that with you and the baby. He has a baby now, guys. As you guys know, he's been in a lot of my videos. We've been on a lot of adventures and stuff like that, and you know, life changes and stuff. Still very cool guy. Was still very cool. Yeah, man, I would love to have you on one Sunday, just kind of talk about your journey of riding and family life and really bikes subsiding from that a little bit. And I know you still ride, but it's not the center of everything as much as it was before. So, man, if you don't mind, I'd love to take maybe an hour and a half on a Sunday so we can talk. So call me. Sasong, sir, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Guys, thank you again, all of you guys. I really appreciate it. Whether it's 10, 5, 20, 30, 50 of you that comes through, I appreciate it. I appreciate your time. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Have a good one, guys. Peace.